Welcome back. I'm Bill the Geek, and now we're going to go in a step-by-step comparison of Dreamweaver versus WordPress. And this is for people that are trying to figure out, well, I've heard about Dreamweaver, I've heard about WordPress, which one should I use for my website? I have so many people that come to me and they want to learn Dreamweaver because they think that that's how you build a website, and it never fails. I'll say, well, and they have no HTML experience, they have no CSS background, they're not familiar with FTP, uploading files, downloading files. That's all well, good, and fine, but if you're brand new to web development and you're not going to be a web developer, do you want to learn CSS and HTML and maybe some PHP and JavaScript? So this is for new people that are trying to figure out which way they want to go. So let's get right down to it. Dreamweaver or WordPress, here we go. Now, I use both. I have several WordPress sites. I have several, I call them static sites made in Dreamweaver, and I use them both. I use them both together, and I think it's very handy. So the question is, do you want to go with one or the other? I use them both. I think they both do have a place, but now let's talk about the pluses and minuses of either or. If you're going to use Dreamweaver, you have to consider that Macromedia developed Dreamweaver, and they build it for people that knew code. The people at Macromedia, when they developed Dreamweaver, assumed that when you launch Dreamweaver, you already know HTML. They assume you know CSS. They assume you know the function of JavaScript, and if you're going to make your own HTML Dreamweaver site, you're going to want forms, a place to leave comments, maybe you're going to send out newsletters. To do that in the Dreamweaver environment, you need to know PHP, and PHP connects to a database which is generally called MySQL, MySQL Server. And over at our member site, buildthegeek.com members, all of this is explained in the PHP section and the MySQL section attached with the PHP section. So that's a lot of hand coding. That's a lot of hand coding. These are all separate languages with separate syntax, and to make your site viewable appropriately on phones, tablets, and desktops, then you're going to need to know responsive web design. We have a whole section on responsive web and how to build it, how to set up the breakpoints, the media queries, scale your images over at buildthegeek.com members. Now, so if you know code, Dreamweaver is the way to go. And I edit all kinds of sites in Dreamweaver. I edit WordPress sites, Joomla sites, Drupal sites, static sites, PHP sites, but I know code. Now, let's move along. Now in WordPress, you don't have as much control. Now, when I say you don't have as much control, in WordPress, you're going to start out with a theme, and we go in depth into that in a couple of more videos. What is a WordPress theme? But what it is it's almost like buying a house. You get your structure, You have your kitchen on the first floor. You have your bedroom up here in the corner on the second floor. And once you move in, usually you don't want to change that. That's kind of the way these themes are set up. So you get a theme, and pretty much, I mean, you can go into WordPress and know zero code and pretty much be up and running in a matter of hours. If you watch my videos. If you don't watch my videos, it can take you several days. Even an experienced coder who is new to WordPress that doesn't know where the keys to get into the house or where the secret door is to go down to the secret basement. I mean, certain important things kind of sort of don't make sense in WordPress land, but by watching some of my videos, maybe taking an hour class, you can be up and running, have your website up and going in a matter of hours and be in control. Now, and WordPress is based upon PHP and MySQL. So PHP, I mean, it's WordPress is built and functions on PHP. And yes, we do have a section on PHP and what it does in buildthegeek.members/members, as well as MySQL. So the PHP throughout WordPress is connecting to a database. So everything you do in WordPress is actually, you put images in, you put in a menu, all of that gets stored in a database. It's an awesome system, and the most awesome thing about it is you don't have to know anything about it. I mean, it's great. It does help if you know some HTML. Knowing HTML in any web environment is a wonderful thing, and knowing some CSS in any web environment is a wonderful thing, but you could essentially go into WordPress not knowing anything and get going. So if you're doing a site for your small work at home business, maybe for a organization, maybe for a club, if you're a photographer, or a small work at home business, I mean, I think if you don't want to spend hours and days and months learning all of these codes, and you just want to have a functional site that can do some awesome things like collect money, send out, have forms on it, have newsletters and all that, I would say for you, WordPress is the way to go. Now, WordPress. Right now, at this point in time, WordPress has, I'm going to say, a bad name because most people that should be learning WordPress, but they're spending all this time studying code, they think that WordPress is a blog. No, WordPress is a website. You're looking at, when you're on the internet, you're looking at WordPress sites, and you can't even tell it's a WordPress site because they've been reconfigured. Sure, you can have a blog page, but WordPress is made up of pages, newsletters. They're responsive depending upon how you get your theme going. We talk about that in soon-to-come videos. WordPress is, the idea of WordPress being a blog, that's done. You can blog on WordPress, but now it's full-blown web pages that you can really control and do business in or with. Now, another thing about WordPress is it's free. Isn't that crazy? WordPress is free. And if you sign up for any web hosts, the good ones have a button you click. I swear to God, that's how easy it is. Oh, you want to use WordPress? Just go here and click this button. Boom! You got WordPress. You have a website. You're up and running. It's free. Another good thing about WordPress is almost everybody developing WordPress There are millions of developers all over the world working on WordPress all the time for free. It's like a big club. So that works pretty good. So it's free. If you want Dreamweaver, you're going to pay Adobe at least $19 a month. So, it's your call. Now, if you're a web developer, if you're new to the web business and you're going to make websites for people, I know they call themselves web developers, but actually they do WordPress sites for people, and they don't know any CSS or hardly any HTML, and these people are making money. They're working at home, making money, making WordPress sites for people. Hey, if you can make money doing that, go for it. But if you don't know your CSS or HTML, or at least know what some PHP is, at some point you're going to run into problems. So if you are new to web development and you're learning web design, I would say go both ways, because if you're doing web design for people, you're going to run into people that have Dreamweaver sites. I mean, half the websites on the planet were made in Dreamweaver. So some person has, I've run into these people, they have like 2,000 pages on their website. For them to switch over to WordPress, you're talking like a lot of work. So if you can help them edit their existing site, knowing Dreamweaver is a big bonus. Also, if you're new to web development, and it's very good to understand the CSS, the HTML, and the PHP, because that puts you ahead of the pack, and you can do things in WordPress that other people can't do. That's just awesome. So let's see. Did I go back in time? Now, if you're building your own site, I would say leave Dreamweaver alone. I would say walk away. It does have benefits. It does have its benefits, but if you don't want to learn your CSS, your PHP, all that kind of stuff, just get WordPress. And you can have a fine website and earn money from the website with the appropriate search engine optimization, which we have a section on over at buildthegeek.com members, that our members are using to make money as you watch this video right now. So I would say start. If you have a small business, even large businesses, you're an artist, photographer, anything working at home, organization, get going with WordPress. You can be up and running without any code, and watch our video series, our WordPress video tutorials. Now, as a Build a Geek member, you can learn your CSS, you can learn responsive web design. We just added a Photoshop section. So if you're a Creative Cloud customer, Dreamweaver is included. So most likely, if you own Adobe Creative Cloud, well then you already own Dreamweaver. I edit a lot of my WordPress CSS and HTML in Dreamweaver. I'm a legal Creative Cloud member. I use it a lot for all kinds of things. Also, you can edit WordPress themes, and we have a section in editing WordPress themes in the WordPress section in our Dreamweaver video tutorial series. And also, as a Build a Geek member, we teach search engine optimization, which is all about getting your page to page 1 in Google, the major search engines. So anyway, there's my rundown. The difference between Dreamweaver and WordPress. We teach both. We have videos on both, and I use them both every day, and both of them have a permanent spot in my kitchen counter.